Hello and welcome back to another episode of OmathaCraft. This is episode 55 and we are back here on the OmathaCraft server. Now, if you haven't already noticed, I was actually away for the past 2 weeks. Videos were still coming out on the channel, but they were all pre-recorded, and today we are back here playing on the OmathaCraft server for episode 55. Now, in today's episode, I thought what we'd do is we're going to spend the last couple of episodes, which are going to be in August, finishing up and tidying up our base and some of the projects we haven't yet finished up. Now, if we look behind us, just there, yes, there we go, you can see we have our sheep farm, which we built up a few episodes ago. Now, in today's episode, I want to put a building around that sheep farm, well, because it's not the prettiest thing in the world, and it really doesn't match the rest of the theme in our base. So that's what we're going to do in today's episode, and I think we can get something looking really quite cool there. We've definitely got 2 towers which could be built there. We've got to have something in the middle to hide all of the redstone stuff, and we've got to hide the storage stuff, so we've got some really interesting things we can play around with. So what I think we should do to start off with is we should head to the testing world, we should lay out the land, see the size, and let's start designing what we should build. I'm fairly sure I can hear a witch. I'm sure I can hear a witch somewhere. Let's jump back around into normal view. Is the witch in here somewhere? Oh, I forgot that's our cactus farm. Yeah, I forgot that was there. I thought that was just my head. Now I've lost that block. I'm gonna have to go down and find it somewhere. I found out where the witch is, and there's also a zombie up there. It turns out we haven't actually lit up this area up here. So on top of the cactuses, we kind of just left sand there, and we didn't finish it up properly, which means this witch here wants to kill us. And let's see if we can just get up there. Can we shoot her? There we go. So here we go. I have laid out the actual size of the sheep farm. Obviously, these orange sections just here, those are the towers of the sheep farm, and this middle section, that is the space where the storage system is in. So what I'd like to do is I want to design the building we are going to put around this thing, or roughly design it that we can then transfer over to the OmathaCraft server. So what are we going to build this structure out of? Well, these are the blocks we have most commonly been using in our base so far. There have been stone bricks, quartz pillars, and just regular quartz. That has been the build palette for our base so far. Now today, I want to try and introduce some more blocks into that build palette, which we can use for other buildings, which we will add around our base in the future. So in 1.16, we got a whole bunch of new blocks. We got basalt, polished basalt, blackstone, polished blackstone, and blackstone bricks. I want to try and incorporate maybe some of these blocks, maybe not all of them, but see if we can use them and integrate them into our base, which I think might work quite well. So it's time. I'm going to do some designing, some playing around, and see what we can come up with. So we started off with all of these blocks over here, and I started off making this design here. Yeah, I spent a fair bit of time playing around with different ideas, and this was turning into more of a tower that was sort of going to cave inwards, which is not what we want. We want something that was going to stay the same size the whole way up. So I scrapped this idea, and I have moved on to this, which I really quite like. We have these windows. It's going to be this really sort of mega tower. We've got this base at the bottom, which is going to have grass on it, and we are making use of smooth quartz, polished basalt, and polished blackstone bricks, alongside cyan stained glass, as well as in the middle we have this light grey concrete powder. Now it's fairly simple to see that this pattern is just going to keep repeating upwards for as high as we need to, and then we'll design a roof design. So as you can see, this actually matches up really nicely, so it works around the corners. The bits of glass here in the corners, they are actually shared, but that is obviously no problem whatsoever. I haven't yet decided what I want to do, if I want to show the sheep farm behind it, or we could do something else, which is we could maybe grab some black concrete or something like that, and we could just cover up the back. So for example, if we did cover it up, it would look something like that, which might be quite tempting to do, actually, if we look at it, but we might not have the space. We'll have to see if we actually have the space in the sheep farm to build that one up. But it should be okay, because if we have a look, this is a block of air gap we'll have, so we'll definitely be able to fit the glass in. Maybe this bit here we might not be able to fit in, but we can have a look and we can have a play around with things. But I think this is what we're going to go and build on the OmathaCraft server. Now, as you can see, that is a lot of blocks that we don't have. Now we're back on the server, and I have gone raiding at our nether base, and this is what we had left over from our build. It's not a lot, but we have some blackstone, we have a little bit of basalt, and we have some quartz which I got from the piglin bartering system. Obviously, this is not going to be anywhere near enough stuff if we just go and grab all of this blackstone. We need to convert it into polished blackstone bricks, and I believe to do that, we have to go in, we can do this all via our inventory. We can turn it into polished blackstone, and then from polished blackstone into polished blackstone bricks. So we don't actually have any loss there, which is obviously very nice. We don't want to see any loss. We want to make sure we get max efficiency out of all the blocks we mine. Yeah, as we can see, this is definitely going to be nowhere near enough blocks. I decided what I do first is just get as many blocks as I had and just start placing them and see how far we got. And this is how far we have got. As you can see, we've actually put the base in, and I've chosen the height to be up here. So it's quite high up. You get a good view from up here. And then I reckon if we could fly back over here and take a look, I reckon we're obviously going to get 3, 4, and I reckon adding a 5th one of these sort of tiers of windows in. I think 5 layers would work quite nicely, plus the roof on top. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of resources, but I think this is looking very, very cool. I love the scale of this thing. It really fits in with the rest of the base. This is obviously going to be a really dominating tower, and actually, I think matching in with the mountains, this is going to look absolutely awesome. But I have completely run out of basalt, so that is the first thing we're going to need to do. And the nice thing with basalt is we can farm it. So what we now need to go and do, head to the testing world quickly, design a farm, head back here, build it, and then I guess we need to AFK there. To generate basalt, lava has to touch soul soil and blue ice. So as you can see here, we have soul soil on the floor, and then we have blue ice in the walls. I mean, you could just swap those around if you wanted to. And if we see, we break that when the lava flows and it touches the... When it touches the soul soil and blue ice, it will obviously form basalt. So all then we have to do is just break it manually. And as we can see, they instantly, as you can see, they get replenished really, really nice and quickly, which is obviously what we like to see. Then underneath, I've just thrown down a few hopper minecarts on hoppers, which then should run into a chest. So let's jump around into survival, just like this. Give this a go. So we have efficiency 5 netherite pickaxe just here, and as you'll see, we're not able to instant mine it, which is obviously not what we want. So the way we're going to fix that is we are going to go and place down and set this beacon up. Come on, there's the beam, and then as you can see, the haste is already in place. I had that already fixed up. I didn't realise. But here we go. As you see, when we hold down, then we can instant mine, and then we just hold down left click. Now, considering the height of this thing and how high up we are, you can probably guess I've placed quite a few blocks down. Let's fly out this way, let's turn around and see what this... Whoa, that looks cool. Look at that. That is so cool. I have run out of the concrete powder, so obviously that's not in the middle. We don't have the glass in place just yet, so it's definitely a work in progress, but that is very cool. I like that height. That is a good height. So I did go for the 5 windows. I considered stopping at 4, and then I thought, actually, no, it doesn't work. Get it up to the 5, and it really, really looks amazing. That is so, so cool. So that basalt generator, I have just quickly thrown it together down here. So that's how I've gathered up more basalt, and I've put a small beacon down, as you just saw on the side. So that is just picking up all of our items just like that, which is great. They also flow into that chest, which is providing me with enough resources to crack on, at least make a dent in this project. These are all the resources, however, I have left over. So I'm going to dump this all in the chest, and I have put a message out to the other OmathaCraft members and said, hey, does anyone have any blackstone? Because I need a lot of blackstone. And yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to grab some diamonds. I'm going to go and grab an empty shulker box, because I have been told by Vapor and Pyro for a very cheap price I can get a whole bunch of blackstone. So we're over here at Communal, and this is Vapor's little wooden shack, and in here he has a whole bunch of blackstone. So we are, I think, going to buy him completely out, because we are going to need tons of the stuff. So we've got all of those there. So yeah, I'm going to just shift click this all out. We're going to make sure to pay him good and proper, and then we might go and take a look at Pyro's, and maybe grab maybe 9 stacks off of him, which is what he said we could take. You know, I'll leave the 39 just for Vapor. That feels a bit cheeky, but we'll go with it. So let's lay down all of these diamonds. So it's 3 diamonds a stack. Vapor is going to make a good bit of money out of this. Now, as you can tell, I have been busy, and I've done a fair bit of work, and that was the first time I've flown away just to look at this place. So I've done 2 sides of the tower. Now, there's a bit of a story to tell. As it seems to always go when you're working on a big project in Minecraft, you put it off by 1 block, and that is what I did. This side of the tower was off by 1 block, which means I had to move this entire structure to the side by 1 block, and actually it seems we've missed a couple of blocks from when I shifted it all over. Oh, I almost cried. I have to say, I almost cried. It was just so painful. I just finished it. I'd gone to check the measurements for starting the next side, and then I realised it was all off by 1 block. So I had to shift the whole structure across, including the base and all of that sort of stuff. So that's now done. Now, I've noticed I actually made a mathematical error while designing this thing, but that's not too much of a worry because we've been able to cover it up. If you notice there, we have a 4-block gap where the concrete powder is. On the front or on the sides, we have a 3-block gap. Now that's the way it's going to work, and to be fair, I think that'll be okay. I think actually it might look a little bit better having that little bit of variation, or that might just be an excuse for making another mistake. And with that last block, I think this tower is complete. Well, we say complete, but in terms of the general structure, yes. Look at this. This is awesome. I like this so much. Let's fly away off in this direction. Let's get another angle. Oh, yes. Yes, I am liking this a lot. This actually looks really cool. I think what we should do now is actually just get a roof on this thing to sort of finalise this tower. I'm still unsure what to do about the windows. I am tempted to put solid blocks there instead. Maybe a terracotta, maybe cyan terracotta or something, instead of having them see-through, because I think having them see-through, well, it's not going to look great because we don't have stuff at the top, and we're only going to see things like dirt and some random bits and pieces. So I'm tempted to put solid blocks in those places there. So maybe we'll look into that and see how that looks like. But I think for the time being, let's try and put a roof on this thing and see what it looks like. Now, instead of working on the roof, I changed my mind a little bit. It is a brand new day, and I started working on the second tower. Now, the main reason I started working on the second tower, because there's something I want to build in the middle, which I think will really pull the two buildings together. I want to build some kind of bridge. Now, these bridges aren't really going to be connecting or leading anywhere, but I think having a bridge in the middle with some supports hanging down like that, I think would look really cool. Now, you'll also notice I've done quite a bit of work on the base as well, so I've completely built up the whole base section of the platform, and as you'll see, it stretches the whole way around. We've got this grassland in the middle. I'd like to maybe build up some garden sort of thing. We could give that a go. That's something I've never really tried before. You know, all that fancy stuff where they put leaves on the ground and it looks really nice. So we'll definitely have to give that a go. But if we pop around the back, you'll see that this building stretches the whole way around. I think I need to fill in a few blocks just like there, as some dirt is showing. But I think in general, this is looking pretty cool. I like this a lot. Now, I'm actually thinking for the entrance to the sheep farm storage, it's going to have to be somewhere down here. So maybe, I reckon on the middle pillar here, so we're 4 blocks wide, we'd have something opening just in here, which will take you straight into our storage facility. But I think it's time, let's get our camera count online, and let's time-lapse the building of this bridge. Which I have to say I am loving. It looks really cool. It ties the two buildings together, and actually underneath, if we pop down the bottom, you will also notice I've actually added this black stone in the middle, which just adds that sort of support structure to it. Obviously makes it look a lot more like a bridge. I am really liking that. I have also, in the meantime, completely finished both of the towers, which is very much exciting. And also, if we fly right up to the top, you'll see I've also added roofs onto the buildings, which again, really tie this whole thing together. I'm liking this a lot. So there is one last thing we really have to do, and that is sort out the window frames. And as you can see down the bottom, I've actually put together a couple of ideas of things we could use. And I think I've already made my decision. That there is black terracotta, and that one there is cyan terracotta. And obviously, the cyan terracotta works much, much better. It fits in. It's got that sort of blue tint to it, and it's obviously that matches in with the blue, sort of dark navy blue that is on the blackstone bricks. So that is the colour of terracotta I'm going to be going for, and filling in every single window. Well, it's not going to be a window, is it, when it's solid blocks? But we'll go with it. We'll go with it and pretend it is a window. So that is what I'm going to do in between episodes. But for now, that is all the time I have for today's video. If you have enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, as it really does help the channel quite a bit. And I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.